Okay, Coach, well, it wouldn't be Florida without this. A heavy tropical rainstorm coming down just prior to kickoff here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Washington Redskins and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Now Mayfield, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Off the edge, the sack by Matt Ioannidis.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Redskins will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10.
I'm coming.
First carry for Darius Geis. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down.
X3, 218, jump.
On first down, this is Geis. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. This is caught. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes Now Carson fumbles the football, and the Redskins scoop it. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So a first quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost them.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. To throw on second down. Davidson, a screen to Bell. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Davidson. And that that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They run it with Carson. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. On 2nd and inches, Mayfield escaping the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The safety blitz works perfectly that time for Landon Collins.
Hey, alert, 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 alert!
3rd and short yardage, Mayfield. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. On 1st down, Davidson. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Here's Geis. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, and you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a first down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
No. 6-6. Pull it hard. Let's go.
They'll run with Geis. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now a give, right side, it's Geis. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense.
Run. Our time. It's our time.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. On first down, it's Carson. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 10-0 the score after one on EA Sports.
Regular.
On 2nd and 9, Mayfield looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
All right, need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football. We just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
They go play action. Mayfield. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt.
Here we go. First and 10. Here we go. At their own 20-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Following the penalty, it's Geis. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. That catch for his career is number 589, so 11 away from 600, but it also right now ties him with Hall of Famer Fred Biletnikoff.
And we remember Fred Biletnikoff well because of the way he went about his business in catching the football. And we're seeing something similar here. Someone who runs precise routes, has excellent hands, and knows how to get the ball to the end zone.
Carlson able to put this one through. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Play fake. Mayfield. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard. That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
On 3rd and 1, here's Mayfield. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
I'm scared. Point it right, point it right, point it right.
Throwing on 2nd down. Mayfield. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call.
Pilot, 64.
From the gun, Mayfield. His throw incomplete.
Well, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. 3rd and long for Mayfield. Flushed out right. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, they tried the field goal from just inside of 70 yards. It missed, and now this offense set up nicely in midfield. Throwing to start the drive. Davidson, and he's got the hook up to Landry. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 10 yards there, good for a Redskin first down. Now a handoff, Geis going right. Gets past one man. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
That is caught at the 7. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Geis, they'll try to run it. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Single receiver.
Here's 2nd and 8. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Jarvis Landry, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one covers 29 yards. First down. On the delay, here's Carson. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. On the stop, Breeland speaks. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Mayfield. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Mayfield off the play fake. He's got Evans. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. First time into the red zone for the Buccaneers. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Alert, 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 alert. You got tight. You got tight right there.
Now a give, right side. Carson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. To throw, Mayfield toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
It's now 4th down.
So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. The kick by Joseph is good. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
At their own 25-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals, because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
It's in the game.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On the draw, they go to Geis. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Back to the ground, this time with Bell. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back to throw. Davidson. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The Redskins have the first down on a pickup of 18. On 1st and 10, Davidson. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Tack McKinley able to record his 5th sack of the season. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
I got number 23. I got
Looking to throw. Davidson. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Davidson. And that is incomplete.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free. No first down.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
10 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd down. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Mayfield now from the 50. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside. Probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
Mayfield down. Flush to his right. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
2nd and 11. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise,
touchdown, Tampa Bay! O.J. Howard, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the interception by the Bucs D leads to a touchdown. The extra point up and good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. The 3rd quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. They stay on the ground. Geis again. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Back to throw. Davidson. And that's caught by Smith. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A Redskin first down. The pickup 15 yards. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. This is Geis. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Looking to throw. Davidson. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
Switch.
Back to the ground game now with Geis. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Davidson. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught.
Let's go.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Darius Geis, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Mayfield. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Watch out for Hill on the return. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Ready, break. Protein spill. Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this. Get it.
Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I'm without speech. And he rifles it complete, caught by Landry. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give the Redskins 13 there on a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Geis. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner, 100 yards or more in a game.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
6-6, pull it hard.
Back to throw. Davidson. And an alley to run. 8 yards that time. Able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
How many times do we hear that 3rd down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the 1st down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key 1st down.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
2nd and 10. At their 49-yard line.
Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And they'll get this across midfield, but not nearly close to a 1st down as he stopped at the 48.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half.
King. Push him back. Push him back.
Out of his end zone, Mayfield. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And no forward progress here. This is going to be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Get ready.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now they'll try the sweep with Bell. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 45-yard line.
Geis with a carry on 2nd down. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. Davidson looking left side. It's complete. He's got it. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 41-yard line. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Now a first down carry by Bell. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
Watch the run, watch the run.
And they will take a knee here. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. 7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Out of the shotgun, it's Bell. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team.
He's got a man, complete. That's good for 28 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Redskins, they can smell victory now. They take a knee.
Set, ready? 60 outlaw. 2 times, 2 times. Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down, 4 down.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So a victory.